Belief systems are funny. Say Buddhism, right? Before he came to Buddha, I forget his name. He was the Prince of India. And then he left the heavenly palace, right? Which the palace was made especially nice for him because like the king had hired a psychic prophet, or whatever, to see what his son's future was going to be like. He was either be a king or be a spiritual leader that would go against what the king was trying to establish, the order he's trying to establish. So the way to avoid this was to anything dying or dead or old, take it out of the palace. So everything was made really nice. Then he saw, it's like an old guy or something like that, and he kind of snapped, and he left, heaven on earth, right? Which that's pretty much what he was in, born in, whatever, to go kind of like be like Jesus, go live out with the peasants, be outside and sit under trees. And in many ways, it's kind of like not fully, but it was more of like embracing life. And say the Buddhist monks, what do? They hide behind the walls where they're safe. So their Buddha left the walls, went out into the world, and his followers go into the walls, away from the world. It's the opposite. And Om. It's nihilistic. You're just trying to be empty robots. Be at peace, knowing that you're not always going to be at peace. Be happy, knowing that you won't always be happy. Say anger. Can you enjoy being angry at times? I don't know enough about Islam, which by the word Islam means to submit. At least they're very honest with what they want you to do right off the bat. In the name Islam, submit. Just like all the other forms of the dogma, right? But one of the things that occur to me is, you're not supposed to depict Muhammad. But maybe that means like you're not supposed to depict him in way of life. Like it's a misunderstanding. It's not like you're not supposed to depict, meaning draw, but you're not supposed to depict that character in life. That's really what I feel. So let's get to the science, right? What they call science, pseudoscience. True science is really you testing things out for yourself. Your results might not be the same as someone else's. And everything is energy, therefore base and subject to a continuum, right? So what may work for you now may not work for you later. Doug Stanhope brought up a good point. Maybe I'll put it in the description. He's like, don't take other people's advice, because it's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Because people are freaking dumb. And just because everyone else fucked it up doesn't mean that you might not. You could be the hero. You could actually be the one that makes something work. Anyways. Like Always Sunny in Philadelphia brings up a good. Science has constantly proven itself wrong, right? And And people just buy also too, like when they don't know the answer, they just come up with some, oh, it's dark matter. Blah, blah, blah. There's math involved. Okay. That's what for a week, whenever someone asked me a question, I said, it's like science. And people are like, oh, okay. It's the scientifically proven is the new God said. I don't know, it's funny. But all these things is nihilistic, but probably the most nihilistic thing was Christianity. And just like the other forms of the dogma, it's pretty funny. Where's my letter? Oh, it's right here. So, yeah, Christianity was probably the most nihilistic thing introduced to man. Some say the biggest crime against life. It's supposed to basically shame yourself and feel guilty for existing. You're guilty before you even are born. What? Like how? And the church, the Christianity, right? Which perhaps there was actually only one Christian, if the character of Jesus Christ actually existed, like as a historical thing, he was probably the only one. Because he went against establishment. Supposed to be, and people now just uphold the establishment, did uphold, which is Christianity, which still even the atheists nowadays still hold the moral code of Christianity. Atheism is funny too. It is like a misbehaved, rebellious teenager, which basically it has no point really. It's just its parent, which is Christianity, said God exists, and basically atheism is like, no, God doesn't exist. Just try and be rebellious. It's ridiculous. It's in many ways it's way more ridiculous than Christianity is. So Christianity says that you're guilty before you're even born. It's your fault. Before you even existed, you're guilty. What? You're made in the image of God, and God created you, which you want to be in a fuck up, which you're guilty for, and you owe God a debt. And the person you owe the debt to does love you immensely, but if you don't blindly follow a bunch of rules that some preacher tells you, then he'll condemn you to hell forever. Condemn you to hell forever, supposedly, for saying Jesus Christ. What? This is like mental retardation. I mean, like most things, most people, it's mental retardation. It's a sickness. But even though supposedly everyone, what they say, is guilty right before they even are born, they encourage you to create more guilty little beings. To come here, feel shame and guilt, and basically not to embrace being here at all. Basically shun this life, this experience. And basically, like Islam, the word Islam, submit, bow your head, close your eyes to life, each hand arrests themselves in prayer, each hand arrests each other in prayer, and submit, just like Islam says. Right? Same thing. But don't live this life. Don't embrace your life. Feel guilty for even existing, they say. And in the process, create more people there to shun this life. It's death worship. Anyways, I think that's enough for that rant for now.